I'm Brian Boyd, the Director of the Financial Factory Limited. We're directly authorised with the FSA. We're not part of any network or groupings, so we have no connections with any particular company. So we're totally independent. Most money in the country and investment money is sitting in a cash ISA. That's well and good, but it's not really working for them as investment. It's good to have for access and for security. But really what's happened is that the banks, which I'm sure are getting a lot of bad press at the moment, but they've actually targeted ISAs and their customers with a predatory sales technique. And what they've been doing is offering them a headline rate of maybe 3.5–4%, and then a year later they're getting 0.5%. And what they're gauging on is people won't check it, they won't know, and they'll just not be bothered moving it. So where I come forward in that is that the cash ISAs, you should always have cash ISAs for accessible money and for security. But for an investment, it's the wrong place to have your money sitting. With regards to investment ISAs, there is, I'm sure everybody's heard about the stocks and shares ISAs. And what I'm going to talk about this morning very briefly is just something in between, which most people don't know about. With investment ISAs, stocks and shares, clients in the past have maybe put in, and I'm sure people will be aware of this, have maybe put in, for example, 10,000, the market's plummeted and they've lost 40 or 50% potentially. So if they put in 10,000 and the cash it in, they only get back 5,000. The difference between this and ordinary stocks and shares ISA is it has a safety net, a barrier safety net, which of 50%. So in other words, in that previous example, if the market dropped by half and your investment from 10,000 to 5,000, you'd only get 5,000 back. In this example, if it went to the full term of the plan, which is 5 years, and you should be thinking 5 years for investment anyway, if it dropped by 50%, you would still get your initial capital back. You would be made back up to 10,000, so you'd be no loss. If it went above a drop of 50%, well, that's when you start losing money. The reason why people should use their ISA allowance is because it is a tax-free allowance to what you get each year. Okay, you're allowed, if you're doing an investment ISA, £11,260 each year. If you're doing an investment ISA and a cash ISA, you're allowed 2 in 1 year. You're allowed to do a cash ISA of roughly, just keeping simple figures, roughly 5,600 in investment ISA and roughly 11,200 odds in investment ISA. So you can put £11,260 into investment ISA, but not if you've used up your cash allowance. Okay. The reason why you should use it is because money sitting in the bank, you're being taxed again, and money you've already been taxed on. So you should use your benefits as much as possible to save tax. I like to see myself as a tax buster. I think people are aware of cash ISAs, but they're not aware that in most cases they're sitting getting 0.5%. You know, they're not aware that there's other options because they think the only other option is an investment ISA, and they probably think they don't want to potentially lose 50% of their investment or more. But this, what I'm going to talk about, is something in between, which I think most people don't know about, and it gives them an alternative. It is an investment ISA, but it's not a stocks and shares ISA which will drop by the market. It's what's called a structured product, and in layman's terms is also called a kick-out plan. And the reason why it's called a kick-out plan is because at any time over the 5 years, you can be kicked out of the investment. How you're kicked out is simply, if this product, I've talked about the safety net of 50%, on the plus side, if it did well, if you put in an investment of 10,000, for example, keep it simple, in the investment ISA, and the market was 6,100, which is roughly what it is today, and a year later, next year, it was 6,101. it would automatically kick out your investment. So you would get paid, and the product I'm talking about today, you would actually get paid 14% tax-free. What I've been doing in this last month is going around a lot of my clients and giving them an ISA return, which happened last year. I did an Aviva ISA, again a structured kick-out plan, and it's only lasted 1 year, and they're getting 11% tax-free because it went from 5,900 to 6,100. But it only has to go up. It doesn't have to go up by anything, particular points, which a lot of these investments are. The FTSE has to rise by so many points before you make money, and it's capped. This will increase as long as the investment, the FTSE is up even by 1%, you will get automatically kicked out. If it doesn't go up, you just simply go on to the next year. So year 2 it was up by 14% a year. So in year 2, if it again said it was 5,900, and again went on to year 3, and it still was lower than the original investment, it would go into year 4 and say it didn't go to 5 years, but you got kicked out in year 4, you'd actually get 56% tax-free. And that can be rolled over in an ISA as well, so you can still keep your ISA allowance and roll over to another investment, or you can take the money. There's 3 ways of getting into this. Into the structured product. You can use past ISA allowances that you've built up over the years, both investment and cash ISAs. So you're not cashing in your ISA, you're actually rolling over your ISA allowance in past years. For instance, if you had up to 100,000 past ISAs, just to make a point, you could put a nice investment of 100,000 in this tax year without using up this year's tax allowance. The other way is just to write a cheque for the investment. There's a third way, which is what people, again, I'm a great believer in using your tax allowances. People don't use is their capital gains tax allowance of 10,600. So an example, in that 4th year I was talking about, if you had invested 15,000 and it paid out 56%, you would get over 7,500 plus tax-free allowance. Because you're allowed to make profit of 10,600. So that investment, a direct investment of 15,000 encashed in the 4th year, for example, is still well below your allowance. So that's an allowance that you have annually, just like your ISA allowance. So each year you could do quite easily your ISA allowance plus 15,000 a year and be well within your capital gains tax allowance when you encash it. If you're fed up getting 0.5% as interest in your cash ISA, or if you're worried about losing money in your investment ISA, if you haven't used your capital gains tax allowance, in other words, make use of your tax allowances, you should contact me either through the website, email me, or telephone me, either the mobile or the office number.